Hey my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I decided to do this cranberry gold halo eye using the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice Palette for the first time, and I hope you all enjoy it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is fill out my brows, and today I decided to try out the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Brow Pencil, and I have the shade Soft Brown here. I don't have any routine to this. I kind of just outline what my brows already are, and then I fill in these sparse areas. Now I'm going to be taking the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light, and I'm going to be using that to carve out my brows and just kind of clean that up. And I use a flat synthetic brush, and I further drag the concealer onto my eyelids to kind of use that as an eyeshadow primer, and then I blend it out with the Beauty Blender. Now going in with the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice Palette, I'm going to be taking the shade Powdered Sugar and using that to set the concealer we just placed. Now using a Morphe M441 brush, I'm going to take the shade Looky at My Cookie, which is just a soft muted baby pink shade, and I'm using that as my transition. So I'm just blending that back and forth in the crease. Now I am using the shade Gumdrop, and with a Morphe M506, I'm just applying that to my outer corners and to the inner corners of my eye, and I'm just slowly building that color up until it's how I want it, and just building and blending. So here we're just starting the halo eye process, so I'm just continuing to build the shades and connecting them through the crease. Now I'm just going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to begin to cut the halo eye. So I'm just placing the concealer on the center of my eyelids, and I actually don't show this, but I then set that down with that powdered sugar we used in the beginning. And then I'm going to take the shade Hot Toddy, which is just a cranberry glitter with bronze gold reflex. I'm going to spray that and place that right on top of where we just cut. I felt like that shade was too dark, so I take the shade Frostbite, which is just a silver white glitter topper with like pink reflex, and I apply that to the center on top of that shade, just using my finger. Now I'm just adding some definition, and I take the shade Figgy Pudding, which is just a deep matte purple, and using the Morphe M431, I apply that to the outer and inner parts of my eye to connect the glitter with the matte shade. I didn't have a fluffy enough brush, so I'm just taking a clean highlighting brush. This is the Morphe M501, just to blend that out further. And now I'm applying mascara, and I've been trying out the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara, and I've really been loving it. Here I'm just applying my falsies, and for today I used the Huda Beauty false lashes in the style Scarlet. Now for primer, I've been trying out the Maybelline Face Studio Pore Minimizing Primer, and I just use this in the center of my face to blur out my pores. And then for the outer parts of my face, I use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. And then I go in with foundation, and I use the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Punjab, and I just blend that all over my face with my Beauty Blender. Here I'm just applying concealer and I'm putting that underneath my eyes and to the center of my face. I'm then spraying that with the Too Faced Hangover RX spray and then blending that out with my beauty blender. I'm then trying out the Maybelline Matte Maker Mattifying Powder in the shade Classic Ivory for the first time, and I'm setting it down where I place the concealer using the Morphe E48 and lightly setting the rest of my face. Now using the Morphe M527, which is my favorite bronzer brush of all time, I'm using the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade Deep Cool and bronzing up my cheekbones, my forehead and my jawline. I'm now applying blush and I'm using the ABH blush trio in the shade Pink Passion, and I mix together the shades Basically and Rose and apply that to my cheeks using the Morphe E4 brush. I want to say thank you to my dad's girlfriend for getting me this because I love it and I know you're watching. Here I'm using the first shade that we used, the shade Looky at My Cookie, and I'm using a Morphe M456 to just blur that out underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to take the shade Gumdrop on a Morphe M506 and put that a little bit tighter, and then the shade Figgy Pudding a lot tighter to the lash line. And now I'm applying some lower lash mascara and just blending my falsies with my real lashes. And then I'm going to take the Anastasia Glow Kit and use the shade Summer to highlight my cheekbones, and I'm using the Morphe M501 brush. Now using the shade Moonstone, I'm taking that on a small pencil brush and using that to highlight my inner corners and my brow bone. I'm now using the ABH liquid lipstick in the shade Stripped and applying that to my lips. This has been my favorite nude lip at the moment. And then finishing it off with the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. I'm just setting my face and that's the finished look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye guys!